I asked my brother what I should do for the video, and he said make a chest house, so, I did. He rated it a 2 out of 10! I worked hard on this! Hello everyone, my name is Chai, and welcome back to the Minecraft survival world. Today we're outside, because right now the outside of my base is, hideous, to put it simply. There's nothing here, and today we are hopefully going to fix that. However, that does start with a little bit of terrain removal around the majority of this little cavern here. So, let's do that real quick. I was doing a bit of modification to the build from last episode. I wanted it to look more weathered, but then I looked in here. Our little friend despawned, or just disappeared, which is quite rude of them. But now they're gone, and now this place is no more librarian. Just gonna shut its door. Tragic day, truly. Anyway, back to excavating mass amounts of terrain. You know how people say that sometimes you gotta make things worse before you can make them better? I think people say that. Anyway, it's very accurate in this scenario. I've made two very large problems for myself. Number one is this flat area, and number two is this wall. I think we'll deal with the wall first. I want to put up a retaining wall here, and then also over in this direction, I've left a little bit of an indent so we can have a staircase going up the side of the mountain so we can still access the fun stuff over here. I have the base blocks for the wall put in already, but what I'd like to do is texture it with some more fun blocks to make sure that it doesn't look this flat and boring. Originally, I wanted to use some pale oak, so I went out pretty far to go and find it. I ended up getting mangrove instead my first time round, which I also plan on using for another build in this area, so it's not the end of the world. After that, I went back out, didn't really find much of anything, so I looked on Chunk Base. This is where I've explored so far, and this is where the pale oak might be. I've gone far enough. I don't feel like going all the way down there this episode, so we'll live without pale for just a bit longer, and if I need it in the future, I can go and grab it. I don't plan on using chunk base for everything. I really do like the exploration in this game, but especially with the rarer biomes, when I want to have a build and I want to have a specific block for the build, I will go and look it up to see if that's something I feel like doing, but that's so far away, and I already explored so far. I am headed out again, but for a much shorter expedition. I'm trying to branch out a little bit in building to use a wider variety of blocks, and one of those blocks is a wood type that I have hated since its addition into Minecraft. It's acacia. I don't like it. It's very orange, but we are going to try using it today just for a little bit of texturing. I can tolerate the outside texture. In fact, I think it is useful for stones and texturing things relating to stone. It's just so orange on the inside, so unless you're building a carrot, you don't really have a need to use acacia. It's just awful. The outside texture, though, I'll tolerate. You can't really get better at building without trying new things, so this is going to be a new things for me. The most amusing part about this whole thing is that I was so sure that I'd never use acacia wood that I didn't even pick it up, even though I've been to acacia biomes before. And here I am, episode 3, boating over to one of the acacia biomes I've walked through because I need acacia. Now that we're in the savannah, I can get a bit of chopping done. Can't believe I'm actually voluntarily using acacia. It's okay, this is just acacia. If I was using diorite, you'd know something's wrong. While we're doing this, I'm also gonna grab some of the leaves. I might not use them today, but I do really like the acacia leaves, especially when mixed with the oak leaves. So we will be taking a few of them. Looks like our librarian friend came back. They're gonna stay in the boat for the time being, but they will need a name tag eventually. And with that, I suppose also is just like a name. They're just librarian right now. I've got all the materials I need. Now we can get to building. I wonder if I could do one of those cool transitions where I just spin around and the build's there. Your answer is apparently not. I forgot to record the second half of that transition. Would have been cool though. With the wall done, I'd like to take a look at this pond. There's currently no pond in this pond. That makes me very sad. I've modified the shape a few times, but every time I do, I end up wanting it to be a little bit larger just so we can have the space to actually fish in here and get treasure. For that, you need a 5x5x4 space. And it has to be centered around the bobber, so it has to be fairly deep if you want to get proper fish. It's probably wise to texture and decorate the pond before we put in the water, but before I do that, I'd like to build a little fisherman's hut here. I tend to overgather materials, so I should have most of the blocks I need. However, the one thing I know I don't have is red terracotta. What? So apparently I have red terracotta. I was so confident I didn't have it too. I guess we have everything we need then. We could just get straight to building the next thing. Huh. I'm genuinely shocked by this. Okay then. I was trying to get rid of scrap materials, so I packed my inventory as much as I could, and now my inventory is uncomfortably full and I can't really fix it until I get some of the main structure down, which is a little awkward, but I'm working with it. Ow! Okay, this isn't... Why are there so many? I turn around for 2 seconds. I don't like torch spam, but I think I don't have a choice this early game. Did you just break my shield? Rude! I wish mangrove wasn't nearly as hard to get because it's such a lovely color. It's just such a pain to farm. It was set up for failure. I'm curious, how does this look here? It's too dark. I do like the concept of it though, I might have to borrow it in other places. But it could look nice as being that dark, like the waterline situation. I'm not sold. I'll use it anyway, but we'll see how I feel about it later. It's coming together, very slowly, but it is coming together. The roofing situation is a little bit odd. I am doing this on a 2-block center, which always makes everything a little extra wibbly, but I thought it would be a fun challenge. In general, I'm trying to branch out with my building skills and do new things. That's really the only way to grow. And I think the wall from earlier and this build are good examples from that. I've got the main structure down, and now I just need to add details. Another rare usage of acacia from me. It's twice in one episode. Surely I'm not being converted into an acacia enjoyer. That'd be impossible. This isn't quite the final build. I still want to add a few things, but the main issue is this sign here. There's little fish on it. I think it's super cute, but I need glow ink to make it glow. We don't really have glow ink, so what we're- Sir, I was busy. So what we're going to do is go on a little bit of a mid-build caving trip. Hopefully, anyway. Besides, maybe we'll find some diamonds while we're down there. Now, I did go on that mining trip, but then I forgot to record it. So, let me just give you a quick little recreation of it. I love mining. I sure hope nothing goes horribly wrong or anything. That would be bad, as I have many diamonds and I would be losing all of them. Hello, good sir. It is so nice to see another person down here. How are you doing today? You're not very talkative, are you? That's alright. I think the mines are really cool. I've been super productive. I have exactly 35 diamonds. It sure would be a shame if anything bad happened to them. Surely you wouldn't take them from me, right? It would be a shame if I died here, especially considering all the lava right next to me. The chances of the diamonds not falling into lava would be astronomically small. Oh dear. It's fine, I got the diamonds. I still kept the diamonds, it's fine. Now back to the building. The structure here looks pretty good, I'd say, but we need to deal with the water more. I want this to be a waterfall eventually, and this is going to be a nice lush pond, but to make it a nice lush pond, we need a few materials. I don't know who needs to hear this, but if your moss is underwater, it can't be bone mealed. Can it be bone mealed from other sides? Hold on. I'm doing science. It cannot be bone mealed from other sides. I also want to mix in a little bit of mud. I know a lot of people use it for depth, but I just want this area to feel a bit goopy and soggy. None of those are very positive feeling adjectives, but hopefully you get the idea. I do want the podzol here, but we don't have Silk Touch, and we don't have the levels for Silk Touch. It's fine, we can find a place to use podzol later. I think we can start flooding it now? I'm not quite done, but I want to see how it looks with a bit more of this wall torn down. Alright, I'm getting mildly distracted. This wasn't a part of the original plan, but it would be cool if there was like a rock in the middle, maybe? I think it might be neat to kind of break up a bit of the waterfall. Why is there just a floating vine here? Hello? The blocks aren't updating. Do I just have to go up and take this whole thing down? There's nothing up here. Oh. Ah! There we go. All fixed. Most of the time, I don't put a lot of thought into where I put what block where, but it would probably be smart if I did. I could pull off, like, maybe the smallest gradient down here. I have tuff and cobble and stone, and I could do one of those. I think that could work. A conduit would be nice, but we don't have any of the resources for that. Now that I've established some stone in this build, I can also go into the pond itself and add a bit of that texturing in. Just gonna carry this water stream down now that I think it's fine enough. This should trickle down the mountain, but I've stopped it here. I'd like to expand more into this direction in the future, maybe for more town space or maybe for more farming, but I have not gotten there in the planning yet, so we're just gonna leave it at that. It's looking better by the minute. Now all we really need is some foliage and a pathway to get from point A to point B. There's probably more smoothing I could do at the bottom, but most of it's going to be covered in seagrass anyway, so I'm not too concerned. I don't know where I originally saw it, but I did see people using like leaves on the sides of pond areas to make it look like there's algae or something growing, and I thought that would be kind of neat. I also remember that you could put lily pads on waterlogged blocks, so that's nice to use. Over here I wanted it to look more overgrown, so I added some water blocks under a few of the dirt blocks and then placed sugarcane next to it. For the path, I'm thinking we use a bit of coarse dirt, which can tie into the texturing down there, a bit of spruce, and probably just this path block. I was mostly using it for like making sure everything was laid out nice, but it does look quite nice, I think. I can't remember exactly when they decided to make it so that you could squish down the grass on dirt blocks, but it's very useful. Doesn't make much sense, but I don't care. As long as I don't show this part on camera, it won't matter that I didn't decorate the foliage back here, right guys? I want to deal with a little bit of the torch spam issue because it's ugly and I don't like it. But first, we're going to put in a few fences, just about to more clearly define the boundaries of where you're supposed to be walking. I do want this town to feel somewhat abandoned, and I haven't leaned much into that this episode, so I'm going to build a little campsite that maybe scavengers or something were working through while they were exploring this area. I don't think we'll have room in this area for a full tent, but we can place up a little campfire and some seating. I do want something else over here. I could put a tree. We don't really have any trees in this area, and it is a jungle. Building this tree took a lot longer than I expected it to, but I quite like how it came out. I'm a little out of practice when it comes to trees, so hopefully with this I can kind of get back into it and then I can have more custom trees around here. I'll want larger ones in other places eventually, but this is a good start. Last thing I'd like to do this episode is to fix up this interior. Currently it is empty, and I don't want it to be empty. So we're gonna change that. Where'd he go? Trying to do fun armor stand stuff, but I lost my armor stand, so now I have to go fish up another fish because it was the only fish I had. Oh, there he is. I found him! Okay, progress. I feel like I'm doing witchcraft. Oh, he's perfect! Oh, that was so worth it. Oh, it's so cute! I think with that, we're done with the interior. Well, technically, we're done. I want to fill these up with fish, but I can't put cooked fish on there, and cooked fish is the only fish I have. So, we're just gonna do a little bit of fishing. All things considered, I'm really happy with the way that this build turned out. I think it establishes a good style for this outside area and a little bit into that cave over there. And it gives us more opportunities to expand upwards that way and downwards this cliff. I also now have a place that I can gather XP so I can, use the enchanting room we built last episode. I have yet to do that. Thank you all so much for watching this episode. I had a great time making it, and I will see you all in the next video. That is assuming, of course, you like and subscribe. It's always optional, but it helps out a ton. Hope to see you soon!